Please may I get everyone's attention as we acknowledge the land on which we live on. Covington Middle School resides on the traditional lands of the Chinook and Khalid's tribe. They have lived on and cared for this land and its waterways since the time before memory. Our community regrets the painful history of genocide, imposed assimilation, and forced removal of indigenous peoples from this territory, and recognizes that injustices visited upon them have yet to be properly addressed. Our community asks you to join us in recognizing and respecting these communities, their traditions, both past, present, and future, as we seek to raise up and center their legacy, their lives, their descendants, and their living culture. The map behind me shows the many tribes from what is now known as the Washington State.
Who is with us today. Today we celebrate Veterans Day. My opening message this morning is for the students. During the course of your time at Covington, we will have different types of events and assemblies. Some of them will be meant for getting excited and pepped up, and some events are more serious in nature. For today's assembly, we are gathered to honor all of our nation's veterans for their tremendous service and for allowing us to live in a free nation. We expect our very best behavior and attentiveness during this assembly. We expect that you demonstrate the best of our core values of being kind, respectful, and responsible while we listen to the music that has been prepared for today's event, as well as our guest speakers. Thank you, and enjoy the assembly.
Symphonic Band under the direction of Mr. Dan and Mr. Pop. The 8th grade Symphonic Band will perform our national anthem, Star Spangled Banner. It is customary to stand and remove your hats, place your hand over your heart, and face the American flag.
Our next musical tribute will be performed by the Covington Choir. How do you tell our veterans thank you? You make them feel like every day is Veterans Day. That is the message of this simple and sweet song. The sacrifices that the men and women of our armed forces made and are making impact every day of our lives. It's very worth our time and effort to make sure each and every one of them feels that they are appreciated. They are truly America's hero. Under the direction of Miss Hobbs, the choir will now perform How Do You Tell a Veteran Thank You?
orchestral piece that pays tribute to our veterans. This composition, dedicated to the brave men and women who risk their lives to protect others and serve in the name of freedom, is a powerful testament to their sacrifice and dedication. Please help us welcome the Covington 8th Grade Orchestra under the direction of Ms. Ulimwa as they perform Honor and Glory composed by Sue E. Newbold.
142nd Gopher Broke Infantry in World War II. We thank her for being with us this week today. Please join me in welcoming Representative Monica Smith.
Thank you for the invitation to come and to share our gratitude for those who served in the military. Before being elected to the Washington State House of Representatives, I was an English teacher at Pacific Middle School for years and years. So being in a middle school gym with students and musicians is one of my favorite places to be. So I'm very happy to be here with you all today. As you heard in the introduction, I do have 4 of my Japanese American uncles who fought in the 442nd Infantry. And I'm here to share that story with you today for a couple of reasons. But for those of you who are maybe unaware or haven't reached that part in your history yet, the 442nd is an Army infantry battalion made up of entirely Japanese American soldiers. At the start of World War II, Japan bombed the United States at Pearl Harbor in Hawaii. And at that time, our elected officials and military leaders decided that anybody of Japanese American descent, Japanese descent, must be a threat to our nation's safety and security. And so the President Roosevelt, issued Executive Order 9066. That order meant that every family of Japanese descent was rounded up and forced to live in internment camps, left their businesses, their homes, their communities, forced to take only what they could carry to live in an internment camp. Now, for my family, that meant that my great-grandma and grandpa, Japanese grandparents, Takasugis, and their 11 children were forced to live in what was the size of because they were a big family, a large horse stall for years. And that happened to over 112,000 Japanese Americans at that time. Now, since then, both Republican and Democratic presidents have acknowledged that that military action was based out of fear and racism. And that my uncles and others like them who put on the U.S. Army uniform showed incredible dedication and loyalty to this nation at a time when the very same government they were defending was stripping their own families' constitutional rights away from them, forcing them to live in incarceration. So why do I want to share that story with you? Because of what it has taught me and what it inspires in me. Now, I did not serve in the military, but my dad was in the Air Force, my father-in-law was a commander in the Navy, I have numbers of cousins, many cousins who have served, and now my nephew, who's your age, is considering the same. I think that happens because even when our country doesn't quite get it right, it is our veterans who show up and defend our nation with loyalty and dedication so that we can work toward a day when we do. My family and friends who have chosen to serve in the military have done it for a number of reasons. My dad did it to escape poverty, to find an education and a life that was much better than the one he grew up in. My father-in-law wanted to use his law degree to better the nation and to serve his fellow members of the Navy. And I think my nephew is inspired by the stories of bravery and loyalty. But what it has taught me is that we all have ways that we can choose to serve. To serve means to give of yourself and not expect anything back. To solve a problem you see. To find a purpose with your time and energy and talent. To know that it doesn't matter how hard or easy school is for you, every single person in this room has something to give to make this country stronger. I think your teachers do that in a way. I think that many elected officials do that in a way. I think that those of us who volunteer at our churches or at community events do that. And I think you do that too. I've seen it. I've been here to the school a number of times. When you show an act of kindness to somebody who really needs it. When you do a little something special or extra for a stranger in the community. Finding those ways to offer your service are a way that we can learn and be inspired by those who demonstrate the biggest service, the ultimate service, the one people give their lives for, the service and dedication of our veterans. Like I said, even when our country has a lot to improve, when our presidents and elected officials get it wrong, it is our military who steps up to defend, protect this nation so that we can work towards getting it right. Our veterans are the most honorable example of loyalty, pride, and service. I'm going to ask you, Covington Colts, to join me in thanking them for that service.
These melodies come to life due to the talent of the Covington choir, band, and orchestra, uniting their voices to instruments. As we commemorate Veterans Day, these melodies serve as a powerful reminder of the sacrifice made by those who have served, the value that makes our country great, and the strong patriotism that unites us all.
my name is Britta Hobbs, and I'm the Director of Choirs here at Covington. As it is our tradition here, we would like to recognize all of our servicemen and women in the armed forces. There are 6 branches of military service: Marines, Army, Coast Guard, Air Force, Navy, and our newest branch, the Space Force. Each branch has a corresponding song. However, since the Space Force is so new, we do not have a prepared song for this branch. Veterans, when you hear your song, please stand if you are able, or wave to be recognized for your service to our nation. Audience, please feel free to honor our veterans with applause when they stand. The Symphonic Band, under the direction of Mr. Dunn, will now perform the March of the Armed Forces, arranged by Michael Sweeney. Respectful participation in our assembly. Before we end, and before I ask that you give Mr. LeFevre and Mrs. Croston your attention for dismissal instructions, I invite you to give our veterans one more thank you for their service.